Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. I've been covering a lot of meta decks recently, so I wanted to also give a shout out to the unsung heroes out there. These decks are underrated, powerful, and fun to play, and each of the deck codes will be in the description below. Before I get into the video, if you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with my content. I also stream on Twitch often, so check me out over there if you're looking for live gameplay, and also consider visiting my Patreon for additional benefits. With that, I hope you enjoyed these underrated decks. Alright, so the first deck I have for you is SpiderGwen. Now this is another take on spiders if you enjoy the aggro playstyle and want to take it to another direction. With a win rate of 53.36%, but only a play rate of 0.43%, this deck is definitely being slept on right now. Its best matchups are against Rumblevane, Yasuo Katarina, Sivir Akshon Varus, and Azir Xerath, with the worst matchups being against Leona Aphelios, Heimer Jace, Twisted Fate Swain, and also Katarina Leona. Getting into the numbers specifically, we have the 9 Noxus 1-drop package of Pigeon, Rearguard, and Saboteur. Covered this before, very strong aggressive cards, but we also have Precious Pet for fearsome and spider synergy with Elise, and also Stygian Onlooker for even more fearsome synergy. Next we have Arena Battlecaster, very strong card to play in go wide decks, which means basically swarm the board, play as many units as possible, and get big attack value from him. Next we have Elise, who gets attack value in immediately on attack turn 2 by summoning another body. She's also fearsome, so she's a bit hard to block, and she's really scary at pushing aggressive damage. We don't usually level up Elise in this deck because we're not playing, the Frenzied Skitter and the Arachnoid Horror and stuff like that compared to traditional spiders, but she's good in here just to race face damage. Next we have House Spider, who is 2 bodies for the price of 1, of course 2/2 and a 1/1, super good with Arena Battlecaster. Next we have Redeemed Prodigy, another 2 body for 1 as long as you get him on the attack call, summon in Ghastly Band, which is a 2/1 and it also has Hallow, so the rest of the game your first attacker gets extra attack, which is super scary, especially when you double dip with Gwen, which we're not trying to focus on. It's not super like it matters how much Hallow we get into the grave. That's why we don't run Boisterous or the 2-drop one, right? We just want to get a couple here and there and just swarm the board and win through direct damage. Next we have Double Doom Beast, who can help in the mid and late game. Mid and late game in this deck is turns 4 through 6, because we're trying to end the game around that time, so Doom Beast can come down, get a quick drain into the enemy nexus. Also really good in the aggro mirror match, so that way you can heal and try to win the race. Next we have Triple Noxian Fervor, standard aggressive tool, use this as a finisher. Reveler's Feast. Deal 2 to an ally to give allies +2 this round, so run this at a quick 2 in case you have a full attacking board. Let's say your opponent blocks 2 things, you can Reveler's Feast at burst speed after the block has been determined, kill off one of your units that's already being blocked anyway so they're not pushing any damage, and then just give your other units AoE +2, right? And this can get really crazy with big damage swings in the late game, and then you finish out with the Fervor and the Decimate, of course. Next we have Gwen, who again, we're not super playing around the Hallow. She's basically just in here for the attack drain too. So she's Doom Beast, but on attack call, and that's really scary, especially since she also has quick attack, so she's pretty annoying. Can close out the game with burn damage. And then of course rounding out with Decimate, the classic Noxus finisher. And that's it for the quick deck rundown. Now here's a live commentary game so you can see how it plays out. Alright, for the example game we have Leona Cat minus Katarina. So this is probably just the Daybreak mid-range aggressive burn deck that is floating around. I've covered it before. This is also a bad matchup for us if you remember the matchup spread. However, they do not have Katarina. Katarina being able to do the 1 damage ping from her Blade's Edge is actually kind of good in this matchup, so we don't have to worry about that. And I'm also down to keep a Gwen. Even though we're attacking on odds, having 1 Gwen in hand is really nice just to close out the game later, especially in conjunction with the Decimate we just top decked. Oh, and then a second one. So yeah, we have infinite burn damage. So let's go ahead and start with Precious Pet on attack 1. The only thing that blocks us is Solari Soldier. No Solari Soldier, so we swing. There we go, take our free 2 damage. Nice, perfect top deck. We can go ahead and play Redeem Prodigy. Yep, eat the stun, no big deal. Play Prodigy. Now next turn I'd like to also top deck another 2-drop or a 1-drop, that way we can play it in conjunction with Onlooker. Okay, not the best thing in the world, but I do think it is the correct play to just go ahead and full swing. We'll send it. Sun Guardian, that's fine. They develop 1 unit, but we're developing 2. And then swing, swing. We don't have Hollow engraved yet, so attack order doesn't matter. Go ahead. We want to stay wide over the opponent. Look, we're pushing 8, right? Whereas we'd push a lot less damage if we just open attacked. Yeah, we have lethal in hand now. Gwen drain plus decimate, decimate. We just need the mana to get there. And they don't have any heals, right? So, should be fine.
This is a chance for me to leave my mark.
We're probably... Oh, they didn't attack. We'd probably just full take whatever they attack with. And for us, we don't really have to do anything aside from what I already mentioned, which is the Gwen attack, decimate on turn 5, decimate on turn 6. So we don't even have to attack with anything else, mainly because if we attack with the Hallow and double dip, they'll just block the Sun Guardian and I lose a blocker. I'd rather keep him alive to block next turn so that way we don't die.
Nothing to fear.
So let's just go ahead and get our guaranteed 2 damage in and then decimate, decimate. No reason to do anything else. Yep. Ravun. That is fine. I guess they could get to lifesteal in a roundabout way. Ravun creates the invoke card invokes the lifesteal, but we're playing too fast. So, shouldn't even have to worry about that. And if they for some reason tech Sunforger, well, they don't have strike spells with them, right? 2, 8. Well, I guess they could do Bloody Business. But regardless, we have the decimate here. Leona. Alright, come down and get the animation in.
Behold the divine power of the sun.
Yes, very nice.
The dawn has arrived.
Let that resolve. And... ah, boom. And the next deck I have for you guys is TaliyahZiggs, a classic aggressive mid-range landmark style, so if any of that sounds appealing to you, definitely check this deck out. With a win rate of 54.97% and a play rate of 1.43%, this one's definitely not as underplayed as the other decks on the list, but is definitely still being undervalued as a potential meta deck. Its best matchups are against Ezreal Victor Seraphine, Aurelia Gwen, Ezreal Twisted Fate Seraphine, and Twisted Fate Swain, while the worst matchups are Pantheon Varus, Kai'Sa, Elise Gwen, so SpiderGwen, and also Jhin Annie. So we're going to start with 2 Hexplosive Minefield, on summon and destruction, stun the strongest enemy. Now this is really good because we can copy the landmark and we can destroy it on our own time. That way we can proc the stun when we want. So that's super nice. Next we have Inventive Chemist, summon a landmark that destroys itself after 3 turns and deals 1 to the enemy nexus. And it's also a 1 mana 2/1 body, really good at blocking early aggressive decks, and then you just have the landmark later. We want to destroy landmarks, copy landmarks, do all kinds of stuff with landmarks, so yeah, this is a very landmark focused deck. Alright, we have Drop the Bomb. This is a slow speed Mystic Shot style effect, deal 2 to a unit, and summon a Scrappy Bomb. So, alright, we just have a slow speed Mystic for units, very nice. Of course, can't target the Nexus, but be able to use this as removal and slowing down the opponent's strategy while also getting another landmark for us, very nice. Double Pokey Stick, use this to draw and also deal with some pesky 1 HP units or finish off units that are at 1 HP. Reservarium, draw. Rock Hopper, Roiling Sands, when an enemy summon, destroy me to grant it vulnerable, really nice. The Absolver. Give an ally 2/1 this round. If you level a champion this game, create Absolver's Return. So this is a combo. It's 4 mana, burst speed, +4/+2, and Overwhelm. So this is a really good card to get Overwhelm win con. We want to put it on Taliyah primarily. Also really good on Ziggs. Also really good on Rock Bears who have really big stat lines. So yeah, this is really good for all that. So let me quickly show that I'm not running Herald of Mages in this deck, and you can definitely replace Absolver with Herald of the Mages, because we're definitely going to break for landmarks by the time it's turn 5, play this and give Overwhelm to champions, which does the same thing. However, what it doesn't do is it doesn't hit the other units in the deck, whereas Absolver can. So the little bit of flexibility being able to hit the Restored Devout and also the Rock Bears is the main reason why I'm running Absolver over Herald of Mages in this example list, but feel free to swap them out as needed because they effectively do the same thing. Next we have Endless Devout, 3/3/3, Last Breath, summon a Sarcophagus. On Sarcophagus Destruction or Countdown, summon a 5/3 Fearsome. Very aggressive, especially when you combo Endless Devout's Death on 3 into Desert Naturalist on 4. That way you can destroy your Devout landmark, you'll get a 5/3 with Fearsome and also a 5/5. Very scary, big tempo swing on attack 4. Really good. Next we have Rite of the Arcane, destroy an allied landmark or one of your mana gems to deal 4. This comes up quite often. Dealing 4 is actually a premium number because there's a lot of removal in the game that doesn't hit for 4 but hits for 3, and a lot of HP on some units are 4, so we definitely want to have Rite of Arcane. Premium card. Yes, it's slow speed, but destroying a landmark is synergistic with our deck, and being able to hit things like Jhin or Seraphine, you know, stuff like that, super good. Next we have Rock Bear Shepherd. When you summon an ally, advance your highest countdown landmark 1, and on summon, put a Rock Bear on the board. So that's really nice. You play other units, you can just get a Rock Bear immediately, or you just have him on board to keep popping your landmarks faster. This is a turbo card. He is very annoying when left alone. Unraveled Earth, draw a card, and also summon 2 Royalings. Really nice. Triple Ziggs. If you've destroyed 4 landmarks this game, he levels, and he pops the enemy Nexus for 2 whenever another landmark dies, so that's really nice. He just does a lot of damage for us. Can play him on attack 3 as a 3/4, really spooky. Desert Naturalist, again, really good at destroying your own landmarks to create a Rock Bear. You can also use this to destroy enemy landmarks, so if you're fighting against Rise, boom, there goes one of their win cons right there. And then you can also pop Sundisk with it, or, you know, any landmark that the opponent is trying to play around. Desert Naturalist is a must run in this deck at 3 of, not only for the flexibility of your own landmarks, but also able to destroy the opponents. Next we have double Rite of Negation. This is Shurima Deny. Might as well run it because Deny is very good, especially against top-end win cons like Feel the Rush and stuff like that. Taliyah, be able to copy a landmark. If you summon a bunch of landmarks, she levels, deals 2 to the blocker a bunch of times, and then hits face. So if she has Overwhelm, this does massive amounts of damage because you just get the blocker out of the way and then hit face for a bunch. Very nice, very strong. And then Arsenal as our top-end win con against slower matchups. When I'm summoned, grant me a random keyword for each allied landmark you destroyed this game. So this is Pantheon, keyword soup. Arsenal is going to come down with like elusive, with like lifesteal, with tough, with spell shield, with challenger, right? Just a ton of keywords depending on how many landmarks you destroy, and whenever you destroy more, he gains more keywords. So really scary. We can also put Overwhelm on this guy if he doesn't naturally roll it. We can just Absolver. Put the Overwhelm on him, so another good reason to run Absolver over Herald of Mages. Create a bunch of different win cons, right? And that's it for the deck rundown. Now here's a live commentary game so you can see how it plays out. Alright, for the example game we got Lurk. This is a pretty interesting matchup. Not one that I've even played too often. So let's go ahead and pitch Absolver and both Naturalists, because our opening hand doesn't really show really good landmark synergy. So holding Naturalist might be a bit bricky, and they don't have any landmarks that they play around. I mean, unless they're on the Lurk landmark, which would be pretty crazy. And completely unnecessary, so we're just going to go ahead and try to get a stronger and more consistent early hand, starting with Inventive Chemist on 1.
Little bones are just as good as big ones.
And we can swing.
I got an idea.
Fun fact, we're also attacking on odds, which is really good against Lurk. They want to start attacking right away, so they want to attack on odds and roll a 1-drop and then start getting their Lurk procs. So basically, if you attack on odds versus Lurk, you're already ahead in the matchup. We should also Pokestick to prevent the attack this turn. I think that's more worth than playing Rockhopper. Because if this is their only 1-drop, we're denying their Lurk attack on 2. Effectively setting them behind 2 turns. Bloodbait, alright, so they have a Snapjaw Swarm on top. Makes sense, but no other 1-drops, so yeah, we have slowed them down quite a bit. So their Snapjaw Swarm, if they hit Lurk, is going to be a 1/2. I don't really want that to get Royalinged, so let's just open attack,
Wearing my goggles.
and then play a Rockhopper, and then block the Snapjaw Swarm with our Chemist. Ooh, they hit Rek'Sai. Pretty lucky, so that puts him back in the game. Pretty much the Pokestick play was now just mitigated. Alright, Rockhopper, go.
I can write it.
We have lots of draw. We have a Rock Bear. And we have Absolver. Okay. Call the pack Rek'Sai. And then Pike. Really interesting to give Pike vulnerable. Not the best play. Let me go ahead and do this. And then we could also play another Rockhopper, to be honest. Naturalist is going to turn one of those into a Rock Bear. I think we have board space. This will go up to 5.
Sands beneath me and winds behind me.
Yeah, we basically just have infinite roiling sands. Yep. We'll take the 5 to face because he has quick attack. And then Desert Naturalist. Landmark.
You've got to see this new board.
Little busy now, Sammy. Later. Sing me the song of the rock dude.
There you go. Now we have an extra 5/5 to attack with. Call the pack Rek'Sai again. I'm assuming a Snapjaw Swarm, yep.
You got caught.
Yeah, they are turboing the Lurk out of nowhere. Alright, so let's go ahead and swing here. Block that. Grab the Pike.
I go.
He is now dead. Bonk bonk. We have Rite of Negation for another potential Pike spell, and they're at 7. I don't think Rek'Sai coming down is even enough, to be honest. Collar. Okay. Then we Unraveled Earth. Make sure we can get that Rek'Sai vulnerable as well. And then go ahead and do Naturalist, I think.
Taliyah, you've got to see this new board.
Little busy now, Sammy.
Because I think we can just win on next open attack.
I'll drag you out of there if I
And there's not a lot they can do about it. All I have to do is block the collar, tank the Rek'Sai to face, and then grab her with the 2/4, and then we have open lethal. Oh, they know that. That's why they're keeping the collar back. Same deal, though. We're just going to swing into it with the 3/1. Yep. Pretty a scary Lurk game, but I do think we're fine. Again, we can just take the 12 to face. Because we have Rive Negation Protection, and we have Lethal immediately on open attack call. So we're going to go ahead and swing 5/5, 5/5, 3/1 to 10/3, 2/4 to 12/7, and threaten lethal. Ah, boom.
Oh dear.
Okay, so I really wanted to round out the video with not only a fan favorite deck, but one of my favorite decks too, and that is Deep. With a win rate of 52.14%, but only a play rate of 0.53%, this deck has definitely seen better days in terms of popularity. The best matchups for this deck are Leona Diana, Vayne Aatrox, Kai'Sa, and also Twisted Fate Swain. Now the worst matchups on the other hand are Pantheon Varus, Akshan Varus, Heimer Jace, and Vhagar Senna. And getting into the numbers specifically, we start with triple Dreg Dredgers, of course. We want to toss, obliterate the cards off of our deck, that way we're able to get deep, right? When we hit 15 cards or less in the deck, we get a bunch of buffs on all of our sea monsters and also the Nautilus level. Next we have Jettison to also help us get deep at burst speed. Sea Scarab, very good card, 2/2/3. Whenever an ally dies or he himself dies, toss 1. Bile Feast, really good against aggro decks, be able to control the board, can also ping off pesky 1 HP units after combat. Deadbloom Wander, 3/3/2 that tosses, has lifesteal, aggressively statted so it can block Fearsome, can attack over multiple things, and then also block very important units, and then be able to heal you up. Jal Hunters, 3/4/1, dies to 1 damage pings, but on summon creates a random sea monster in hand. These are all really good, of course. Just get a free resource, while also be able to threaten certain champions or certain units in matchups where they don't have 1 damage pings. Very nice. Lure of the Depths, reduce the cost of sea monster allies everywhere by 1, and draw a sea monster. Really good discount, really good draw card. Undergrowth, toss 3 and drain 2, so this is our Mystic Shot style effect. We want to be able to use this on all kinds of different units, whether it's a champion or just a pesky follower. Really nice to toss 3 while also draining, so that's a heal. Deal 2 and heal 2 for 3 mana. Super nice. Next we have Maokai, one of our champions. He's also one of our win cons as well. If we're able to toss or destroy 25 total cards, then he will level and obliterate the opponent's deck, leaving only 4 cards for them to work with. Then we enter a new phase of the game where we just try to stall until the opponent decks out. So this is our primary way to mill the opponent's deck completely out of existence and create a win con that way. He also creates a 2/1 sapling to help control the board. He sees that die, so that's really good for his own level up. And it's really nice to also toss. So Maokai is just a do everything card. Main problem is that he dies to Quietus, so you hate to see that. Next we have Megatusk, a nice 4/3/4, really good unit. You can play early, or if you hit deep while this is on the board, or even in hand, you get a bunch of heals. AoE heal for your board, heal for your Nexus, really good against aggro, and is just a big beat stick later on. Next we have Abyssal Eye, when deep will become a 6/6. Nexus Strike, draw 1, and also Elusive. Really annoying card. You hit this like once or twice and then you have an Atrocity lethal, so he's really scary. Really annoying for the opponent to deal with. A must remove immediately. You can also play it, right on 5 if you're not deep yet. Try to get some draw pressure going. And then we have Devour the Depths, which is next, 6/4/4. Play Obliterate an enemy with less health than me. Obliterate's really nice because it bypasses last breath effects and the unit doesn't go to the grave, so they can't be resummoned from like Harrowing or anything like that. And it also destroys a weapon. So as long as the Obliterate resolves, the weapon is completely gone and it obliterates the unit out of existence. Very strong card. Next we have Double Vengeance, single target removal for tall decks that want to play one unit and revolve their entire game plan around it, like Kale and stuff like that. Be able to just kill it outright, especially if they don't have Spell Shield, or if you want to be able to ping it off with Vile Feast. Boom, Vengeance, and it's gone. Next we have 2 Atrocity, which is a potential win con to play around. Nautilus goes up to 13 attack, so if you attack with like just one thing, and then, or just Nautilus himself and then Atrocity, that is a win right then and there. So he is very, very strong synergy with that. Also, Nautilus himself is a 0/12 tough, but if you play him while you are deep, then he is a 13/13 big beat stick, and he also discounts sea monsters. That way you can slam them and just get really big attack pushes in. And then after that, a quick 1 Shipwreck Hoarder, because this card is super fun to play around. It's my favorite card in the deck. I love getting Shipwreck Hoarder and then tossing a treasure trove and then using the treasure to find some kind of crazy lethal. I've even hit Ledros Atrocity before, and it was absolutely hilarious. And that's it for this deck rundown. Now here's a live commentary game so you can see how it plays out. Okay, for the example game, we have a Kale deck. Ramping Kale with Yuumi on Braum, probably Spirits Unleashed as well. This is actually a very threatening deck. So I want to keep our control stuff. So like the Undergrowth is really nice, and I also want to keep the Lure. I'm not so sure about the Jettison. Keeping Nautilus is also fine. Ooh, an Atrocity! That might actually come up, especially if they play below like Frostbite, Frostbite's really annoying, but if we can get them to play below 3 mana, then we can just Atrocity Nautilus. Let's do Dreg. Yeah, there's gonna be some Poros in here too. Poro, Empower, Yuumi, Braum, Kale. Actually a really scary deck. I've seen it here and there. Let me go ahead and open attack. Threaten the Pouty Poro or get in 2 damage. Easy as that. Starlit Seer. Really annoying card. Vengeance. Okay, that might be for the Kale or even the Braum, especially if the Yuumi attaches. Might just have to save that, keep it in our pocket. For this turn though, I'm kind of down to just play Dead Bloom Wander, put the unit on the board, get the toss in, and then go next turn and see what happens. Eula. Spell Shield, okay. Yep, toss 3 more. Attack with the Eula? Probably? I mean, at the very least. Nope, okay. That is fine then. I'm down to just play a little passive, a little laid back. Go ahead and Lure the Depths. Got 2 sea monsters, they're both discounted. We can also just pass Float 3. Nothing wrong with that. Floating mana is actually really good and deep. Yuumi. A little bit of a Yuumi, huh? That is annoying. I could Undergrowth. And that will take off the spell shield. Okay, what did we toss? We tossed Missilai, Jettison, Lure. Okay, pass. Yeah, let's just take off the spell shield while also tossing. Getting us a bit closer to deep. Mega Tusk is good. I do want to play the Abyssal Eye this turn though. Brom. Hello, Brom. Let's go ahead and play the Abyssal Eye, yeah. They don't currently have a way to deal with elusive, so that's nice. We're not able to get like an open attack in with the Abyssal Eye. Etch a weapon onto him. Hey, yo. Lodestone. Okay. Might actually have to vengeance this Pouty Poro. It's getting a little spooky for me. They need to attack correctly with the Lodestone. He's not supporting anyone. Here you go. Yeah, fix up the attack. Lodestone, the Starlit Seer. Rom is grabbing who? 3-2. 2-1, alright. We'll take some damage here and then put the Deadbloom Wanderer at the end. That way we heal a little bit. Here we go. While also killing the Iula. Round Star, another 1-1. Yeah, okay. Another Undergrowth. Let's just open attack. This will force a Frostbite. No Frostbite. Okay. Ale. Okay. Wow. They're on all 3 of their champions in top 10. This is really hard. We could probably Sea Scarab. And then also Devour the Mighty Poro. Vengeance, or not the Pouty. The Mighty, and then Vengeance the Pouty. The unit I'm attached to is attack 3 times. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna have to Vengeance it. Or not care. We could also just not care. Which would be pretty Giga Chad. We're 3 away. We can also Undergrowth here. Yeah. This is a 10-7 quick attack. Here you go. You can have the Sea Scarab. You can have that. We can also do this. Undergrowth. Here. There we go. That way we're killing at least the Braum and the Starlit Seer, right? We don't have to worry about the Vengeance yet. Yeah, this looks good. Undergrowth the Braum. This trades. This can just die. That's okay. Alright, I like this. We have a little tricky Undergrowth play. Toss 3 at fast speed. You'd love to see it. Now we go deep during combat, which is something the opponent never wants to see, both on attack and on defense. Bastion. Okay, so Braum will live, but we still get the toss off. Not a big deal. It also means they had the spell shield before the Vengeance play. Go deep. Yep. Go ahead and play our Megatusk, or we can just play him for free next turn. So that way we float an additional mana. I actually think that's more efficient, yeah. Because we're definitely playing Nautilus. And then Megatusk will just be free, because we're deep. Okay, Nautilus. Yeah, that also gives us Riptide mana. So we can just smack something and put it back into their deck, which is super big. Especially since they have 3 cards in hand. They already use a spell shield. What is that? Woolly Snail Myth. 6/6/6, Empower 8 regen, has Overwhelm. Okay, sure. Let's Megatusk for free. I'm not actually that scared anymore. All of a sudden, Nautilus said it'll be alright, and then we play a bunch of big units. We can swing here, we can swing here. 7/6 actually no, and 6/7 actually no, so just these. Alright, we're threatening the Braum. Which is super good. Kill that guy. Draw an additional card to work with, and it is Maokai. Okay, then we should Riptide something. Probably this thing. Riptide that before they open attack. And get the spell shield for free. Also puts Yuumi back in the hand. Ah, boom. Yeah, and they can't replay the Yuumi this turn because they don't have enough mana. So we should just win through Atrocity, I believe. Yeah, Kale's not level. This guy's not empowered. I think we're a little far ahead and we just call it GG.
We're off on a new adventure.
New Yuumi. Yeah, let's just whip it out. I don't really see a reason to not. If they're on 3 sisters or something, then so be it. We'll just block and then go next turn. Okay, got him. As I said in the beginning of the video, I've been covering the meta a lot more, so I hope you enjoyed these different style decks, maybe ones that is one of your favorites that hasn't been covered recently, just because it's not played as much. And that's it for this one. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out. I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, and gameplay highlights in the near future. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters!